Hi there, so I've got some breaking news to share with you in regards to the Noah Presgrove case. This links onto the theme and topic of one of the Facebook pages to do, entitled Noah Presgrove's Army. You would have seen a recent video by me giving insider explanation as to why the page became private. Well, what's happened recently, another page has popped up with the same exact name and the original banner as well. And you might be thinking, oh, well, it might just be another group of people creating an alternative page and platform to speak on when the original one has been privatized, etc., right? No, there seems to be a bit of a shady undertone that some of the members that were originally on the official army page, who have been booted off since because they've been troublesome, threatening behaviour, name-calling, toxicity, some of which those who are within the case itself, they've moved away, they've retaliated back since, they've got triggered by the likes of Kaden Pressy and what he's had to say with his statements, with what he saw at the party, etc. So now it looks like a counter group has been set up, counter resistance, possibly to tell a different story and narrative. Sounds kind of dark. Now, I'm going to show you the screenshot, the photo today, just so you know what to look out for. It's important to spread awareness about this, because the most shocking thing is when you look at the number of members, okay? Originally, a small group of people banded together, created this page. When I looked this morning, 66 people have joined. When I looked an hour or two later, 107 people have now joined. It's going up and up and up. And there might be a lot of general public who are completely unaware of what's going on. They could get trapped, they could get brainwashed, indoctrinated, and it could mess up the entire case. A lot of trouble can come from this. That's why this video is necessary to, almost like damage limitation and spread awareness before it's too late. So before we get any further within this and the extra details, I do advise you, make sure to like and share this video to as many people as possible, so as many people as possible hear about the reality of what's going on and the darkness in the background with this fake page in Noah's name, okay? So with that being said and done, let me just head on over to the Reddit page so I can show you the discussions and the explanation behind it. Now, this was posted 13 hours ago, but take in mind the time zone difference. I would have been getting to bed, sleep time for me, because I've been in a different country. But the title here reads, Fake Facebook Group Page Imitating Noah Presgrove's Army. Now, just as a further heads up, Noah Presgrove's Army isn't the official page in the name of the case. It's not run or monitored by the family. Justice for Noah Presgrove is monitored and moderated by the family. So that's the main one. And then the branching group was Noah Presgrove's Army. And now there is a subgroup of that, fewer in numbers but growing by the day, which is of a darker force, and there is a fake persona around it. Now the caption, copycat fake group created on Facebook trying to imitate Noah Presgrove's Army currently has 7 members. Oh, wow. 7 members on that page, and that was 13 hours ago. Fast forward to now, at this moment in speaking, just about 107 members. Do you see how fast it's growing? The general public could type it in on Facebook and find it and think, oh, I'll join that. And they don't know what they're getting themselves into. That's quite bad. So it says, and it seems like the sole purpose of this fake page is to distract and dissuade from the truth. They even used the same banner header and image as the other group. The author of the page is one of the people related to the suspected players who is moonlighting as a private investigator. TH. What? TH? Well, wait, hold on. You got a full stop there. You got a period, and then you say TH. Is TH included within that sentence of the private investigator, or what? If anyone can clear that up. Just a little bit of punctuation can go a long way. Because I heard TH was, or one, of the truck drivers that came across Noah's body on the highway and reported to the police, the highway patrol. Are you saying that TH is a private investigator all of a sudden? A little bit confusing, that. But main focus of today is this fake page. And where it mentions it here, the author of the page is one of a few who are related to suspected players, I guess, within the case. I mean, what, like Stevie Howard, maybe? Stevie Howard's sister. Let's check the comments. So, I'm joining. They had plants in our group, so I'm returning the favour. So you saying that there were fake people on the Reddit page who are now got this fake Facebook page? That's interesting. Very. Let me just tell you one thing, okay? 'Cause it's important people know. Do I have experience with spies and secretive people going on scouting missions onto other people's channels to listen in and relay information? Yeah, that's happened, and I've been on the receiving end of it. There have been people out there in the Dylan Rounds case that scuttled over like little rats to my channel, listening in through the woodwork, whatever you want to call it, maybe popping up if they did get triggered, and if not, just running back to their master, their slave, to tell them the news of what's happened. Yeah, it's happened. On a more severe level, no, but it has happened elsewhere within the Dylan Rounds case with a Discord group, true crime community, whatever you want to call it. Group of people all together on Discord, and then there was a spy, a plant that got involved and then exposed all the conversations, the text messages. You see how disruptive it is, and you see why I don't create public pages for everyone to join and share information. A one-on-one interaction is best, and when it's not forced, even better. So yeah, in terms of spies and plants, it's a disaster at times, and it seems to be happening here within the case, but more so, not community members, not the general public, but more so either those within the case who are at the party, or the parents or ones connected as family to the kids at the party. This person, Nan, says, the banner on the original group has been changed. The admin on the fraudulent page is related to Stevie Howard and Avery Combs and Carter Combs. Go figure. You saying that it's the husband of Stevie Howard? The husband. Is this who it is? I wonder. Now what's this? Wow, just wow. Here's the thing. I always believed that if one was confident about what transpired, one would remain silent until the authorities release the result of their investigation. But what we have witnessed are unhinged posts, never-ending claims of second-hand information, and now a duplication of an existing Facebook group. They couldn't think of something original. All this reminds me of the quote, never interfere with an enemy in the process of destroying himself. Okay, because you undo themselves in the end. They talk too much, they slip up, they make a mistake. Right, yeah. So what would be the point of literally copying another page to cause confusion, to appear as if you are the official one, that the other army page is a fake? So you're a fake, but you're trying to convince everyone that the other page, the real page, is fake. So everyone comes to you, and then you tell your side of the story, which is probably fake, in the eyes of what? SH, Carter Combs, Avery Combs, people like that who've got their story, their agenda within the case. Some of them, they create this fake page. They try and pull in as many people, the masses of humans like sheeple in. They tell their story and brainwash everyone. And then long term, those that have been brainwashed who then hear about the real Noah army page. They're like, no, that's fake, that. Oh no, that's misinformation, that. Yeah, I saw it extensively in the Dylan Rounds case. Humans were that vulnerable, and many were that much of sheeple that they got dragged into other communities, other channels out there, brainwashed, indoctrinated. Yes, master, yes, mistress, and that's all it was. Yes, men, yes, women. And then by the time warlike wrath came on in and cleared everything up, I received resistance because I was countering the BS left, right, and centre, just like how Kaden Pressy is, supposedly, within the Noah Presgrove case. Same thing, okay? I see the long-term effects. I know what can happen. I've seen it happen. Is it going to happen in the Noah Presgrove case? There's a chance, but the more people that get on top of it and are made aware, the less likely. That's why it's important to spread the awareness. What else do we have here? Exactly. I hope they're ignorant enough to believe the FBI isn't watching them, and so far they've demonstrated that to be true. Those sickos are really working overtime to throw people off the scent, and I suspect they are here on this page as well, hiding in the shadows. Hate to admit it, but I'm losing faith in justice being served. No arrest at all yet? Come on. See, what? This case has gone on for like 9 months. Well, you might say you're losing faith, but if you was to look at the Dylan Rounds case, whoa, it'll change your perspective. Over 2 years it's taken that. And it was even more obvious as to who was responsible, glaring in the eyes of, those present and within. And yet the LE really dragged it out. There was so much dodginess in the Dylan Rounds case that it just doesn't compare to the Noah Presgrove case in terms of how it's been handled. And that's more so because of the time. Unless the Noah Presgrove case goes on for 2 years, then maybe you can say it's worse than the Dylan Rounds case. So there is still hope. When you look at other cases, when you get involved with other stuff, you can kind of compare things and put it into perspective, which does make it better. Just take that in mind. They are here as well. What, on the Reddit page? They aren't hiding. I suggest reading what people post. I haven't lost faith. Why? Because the FBI has started to assist. Oh, right. There are also more people, more podcasters talking about Noah. Oh, podcasters. I'm going to be honest with you, just my opinion. I find podcasters cringy. There's a difference between a interview and a podcast, right? I don't mind interviews, but I don't like podcasts. I just think of it, quirky individuals with massive microphones and headphones to inflate the size of their ego or mirror the same size as their headspace. They've got their mouth right down the mic, or like deep throating the mic as they're talking, and then just dragging things out 5, 6, 7 hour long podcasts when it could be summarized in maybe an hour or less. Yeah, it's not for me, podcast. No. If it was like really informal, piss-taking, people messing about and it was funny, maybe it's okay. But no, it's not my thing, personally. It's when they've got all the headphones, the microphones, they're trying to look really intelligent. Are they trying to increase their intelligence? I don't know. But there's a lot of waffle that comes with podcast, in my opinion. I know not everybody will agree, but that's my vision. Now, Broken says, I read everything and I've done so from the very start of this group. Being honest, everyone is just rehashing the same stuff over and over. More podcasters all replaying the same broken record. Exactly. We're getting onto something now. Broken is not broken. He's got all the glasses of the shard of the mirror and pieced it all together with Gorilla Glue, seeing clearly. I'll add on with that, so it's Broken has got a fair point there in a way. So yeah, still no arrest. Supply of alcohol to minors result in a death, at the very least. We've known about that for a month now, but no arrest. Forgive me for questioning what the hell is going on over there. Well, look at the Dylan Rounds case for reference. This is one crazy. And relaying it, not knowing the deets and asking along the way, so frustrating. Like, don't post if you aren't up to date on it all. Some leniency. Right. So, it's kind of important what Broken says. Now, relaying information from the likes of those on YouTube isn't a bad thing because it does spread awareness. It keeps the case alive. It's no different to how people on Reddit will repost post from Facebook. Same thing. So people can't be complaining there, but it depends the mindset behind people. This is the thing. When it comes to true crime, when it comes to mysteries and missing people cases, when there is clearly new material and new updates along the way, do most of these YouTubers, maybe some podcasters, bigger people, bigger channels, do they add on? Do they branch off? Do they think outside of the box? No. What they do is tell the same old regurgitated story. Just like the Kenny Veach case. Once upon a time, there was a hiker. He was supposedly suicidal. He went out into the desert, never seen again. The end. And that's 7, 8, 9 years later. My research on that case been conducted covering a phone call made by that missing person's Facebook account back in 2022. CCTV footage which showed a person that definitely looked like Kenny Veach in 2018 breaking in to a Veach family-run healing store in Las Vegas, Nevada, in which it was the sisters who owned it. And then other details along the way as well. And do any of these podcasters mention that research? No. Do any of the YouTube channels mention it? No. They tell the same regurgitated story like a broken record. Does that apply in the Noah Presgrove case? Well, if it's starting to happen, it can. Now, what's the difference with me though? Well, first of all, I'm catching up on the case on the spot. I only started covering it 9-10 days ago, and I've already made about 19 videos on the case. I'm trying to catch up quick, but I'm not trying to rush it. I'm trying to do it naturally. Because this case is still open for debate and alternative ideas and theories, providing correct language and wording is using, that does benefit me because that's like how I operate at first. And then once I start getting a better idea and grasp of the situation, the true information, I can start applying it more. That is why my map analysis, as for timestamps, is limited. I don't want to add too much to the map if it's not exactly true, right? When it came to the Dylan Rounds case, same thing there. Only so many markers, and then later the timestamps, the phone pings, where the body was found, which really no one else has covered on YouTube yet. As for the location of where Dylan Round's body was found at, I am the only one, I am the first one, I'm the one that actually talked and presented it, right? No one else has. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. But you see the progression. There is a progression in the case, but as a microcosm, there is a progression in myself in learning the case and covering it. Because there'll be other people on my channel, regulars, long-time viewers, veterans that have been around for a long time, who are just as new to the case as well. So they need to learn as well. You rush it too much, overload. You tell the regurgitated old story over and over again, you're not making any progress. I'm avoiding that. When it comes to mysteries and maybe cold cases, I don't like doing the whole story narration thing because takes a bit too much effort up, and in terms of the return, what you get from it, just not worth it. I've proven it several times. This live service of learning and progression made seems to work better, and people seem to appreciate it more. So that's why I do what I do. But yeah, as for the big channels that come on in, the true crime cases, what is it? What's she called? Elise, Anna or something, 10 to the power, 10 to the life, 10 to the dozen. That blonde-haired true crimer comes on in, tells a story. Okay, do you give any updates? Do you go beyond? No. A lot of people come in, one and done video, one and done case, then move on, tell the same regurgitated story. What good does that do? Why not do a video branching off from the recent news or information? Why not think outside of the box and try and think, what else could it mean? What could it lead to? Ideas, theories, concepts. It might not be the truth, but it's a start. Effort has been put in. An attempt has been made. Thinking for yourself. And from my extensive experience, a range of theories, ideas, concepts and stories which I introduced into cases like Dylan Rounds turned out to be true, or part of it turned out to be true. Maybe I could apply it here within Noah Presgrove. Might not be right now, but with time. So yeah, I do agree. There can be a lot of regurgitation, and what good does that do? If there's clearly new information and updates which are easily accessible, then there should be an attempt made by these podcasters and YouTubers to introduce it and branch off from it. That's all I'm saying. Now, Crazy says, not surprising from the towns in question. Waiting and hoping the FBI has made some found coverage and it's not like 2020, where another Newton family member walks away after what should have been a murder charge. Okay. So, if anyone's wondering, scratching their head, 2020, another Newton family just walking away and not being charged with murder? What's that all about? Let me explain it to you right now. And in addition, for further context, you'll need to check my video out from either yesterday or the day before. I'll provide a link down below in the comment section of this video. Be sure to check it out. In 2020, this is all to do with Caleb Newton, a part of the Newton family. Caleb Newton, the father of Jack Newton, tied up within the Noah Presgrove case. Back in 2020, Caleb Newton was at Waurika Bay, Oklahoma. Waurika Bay, which is 24 miles away from the party house where Noah's body was found. 24 miles northwest-ish. Okay, Waurika Bay. And back in 2020, there was a boating accident in which Caleb Newton was operating a boat, I think near to the ramp, near to one of the, what do you call it, piers or something, whatever you call it, near to the shoreline. And there was a 7-year-old girl in the boat. She fell overboard, supposedly near the swim deck, which could be either at the front or at the back of the boat. Upon falling in, she made contact with the boat propeller. It's very obvious as to what happened there. Gore, cut up, decapitation, pretty extreme, extensive injuries, as it claimed and said. Now, as for Caleb Newton, it said his breath, you could smell alcohol at the time, so could he have been drunk? You never know. But, you got the responsibility of looking after 9 passengers, the age range from 6 to 37 years of age. Caleb at the time was 36. Whoever else was 37, maybe a friend of his or his wife. The 6-year-old, don't know who that was, but they were okay. The 7-year-old, one of the 7-year-old, a girl called something Harkins, was the one that died. Now, it was seen and treated as an accident, but still, very questionable. As for the investigation, it's unknown as to why she fell off the boat. Was she pushed? Was Caleb reckless in his driving when operating the boat? You never know. If he was drunk, that could have been a factor as well. No interviews, not much follow-up afterwards. Now, why was this girl and why were some of the children on the boat? Because Caleb was friends with a family who had kids, and those kids went on his boat as like a little boating outing. So that family out there had put trust into Caleb in looking after them. And one of their daughters died because of possible Caleb's recklessness or lack of awareness, right? What happened after that? Not much really, but there was a comment on my channel last night, I think, saying how on the, was it OSNC? Was it Oklahoma State National Service Record? I don't know. It's to do with like courts or documents, all the legal things, that there was an insurance payout of $100,000 or so, and the family were perfectly okay with that. Oh, I've lost a daughter, but yeah, I've got $100K out of it. Did Caleb pay in any way? Was he questioned, interrogated, manslaughter or anything like that? No. And that's what's being highlighted here, that in 2020, the father of Jack Newton, Caleb Newton, involved in the death of a child, managed to get away with it. Still shady and mysterious behind as to why the girl ended up in the water and whether he was truly drunk or not, the operator of the boat. Yeah. For further context, for photos, images, analysis, you need to check my video out, what I did a day or two ago, link down below. Okay, so let's continue reading. So, walking away after what should have been a murder charge. I'd like to see I'd like to see way more investigation done into the loss of Kindy. Okay, Kindy Harkins, that's the 7-year-old, okay, from the boating accident in 2020. She deserved so much more fight than her parents didn't want to face in the eyes of charges of their own. They let Caleb walk away, yeah. Now he's in, light of 3 murder investigations, if not 4, closely tied to him. By float? You mean by luck? By chance? So, Caleb involved in possibly 4 murder investigations? So, 1, Noah Presgrove, 2, Kindy Harkins, a 7-year-old girl. What are the other 2? Does anyone have the articles, the news, with the other supposed murders of individuals by Caleb Newton being involved? I mean, I don't know if this person's watching, but crazy, Acadia, if you can provide the possible links or context behind the 2 other murder investigations which could involve Caleb, that would be appreciated. Leave that down below in the comment section of my video. Anyway, goes on to say that's why Kindy was out on when Caleb Newton hit reverse and threw the rope into the repeller. Is that what you mean? Kindy included. 9 people didn't know what happened because her parents didn't want to lose custody of a child on board whilst they were all drinking. All drinking? What, the children as well? Right, so where did you get this information from? Because at least from the articles I looked at online, the official news ones, it mentioned nothing about this. It said there was a scent of alcohol from Caleb's breath, that was it. And as for throwing rope, none of that was ever mentioned. So where did you get this information from? Where? I'm interested. What else? Insurance paid out to the family. That gained during that loss, and they were paid to keep their mouths shut for their family. And the Newtons, they could have gone to jail for negligence. How is this not seen? No family is going to choose to be chummy with someone that killed their 7-year-old unless it benefited them as well. They got no consequences and a 100k payout for keeping their mouths shut. I made it make sense. Well, I'd like to know where those other details came from, because unfortunately those official news articles which I read out, including I think the official Oklahoma one, failed to include all that. So I wonder why. Broken. It does sound like a scary place to be, knowing that if you have the cash you can buy your way out of anything in those parts. I wonder if those dirty cops are framed people with planted evidence when it suits them as well. Sounds kind of like the Wild West in that neck of the woods. Had no idea the parents had another child on board. The parents will have to live with that for the rest of their life, choosing money over their child. Link, so that's the link to this fake Facebook page, and I will check that out shortly. Bear with me. Just finish off the comments there. Jeepers. And that appears to be it from the looks of it. Now, with more relevance to the main discussion of today, we're going to move on over to this fake Facebook page so you know what to look out for. As you see on screen, we're now on the page, Noah Presgrove's Army. I had to sign in, unfortunately, because of Facebook being silly and restrictive. You look at the banner channel art, quite familiar with what we've previously seen elsewhere on the main page, the official one. I'm going to say official. I'm not saying official as in the justice for Noah Presgrove moderated or run by family. I'm saying in comparison to this Noah Presgrove's Army and the other Noah Presgrove's Army, the other one, which has, I think, thousands of members, is more official than this one. Just so you know. Scrolling down, it does say private group, kind of the same as the main Noah's Army page. This does say 102 members now, when at the start of this video it was at 107, 106. So a few people have left all of a sudden. I wonder why. People catching on? Have some people been kicked out, maybe? About this group, this is where it gets a bit funny. This page is only open for those truly interested in helping the family get justice. No wackos allowed. In brackets, this means you, Justin. Who is Justin? I believe Justin, full name Justin Roy. You would have seen his name mentioned in a couple of my videos in terms of post from Facebook, where Justin Roy has been trying to spread awareness, get justice for Noah Presgrove, and reach out to people, I think Jack Newton, etc., over time to try and get the truth and spread the message, etc. And in the eyes of the people on this fake page, they're calling Justin Roy a wacko who doesn't care about helping family get justice. That's basically what's being put across here. So the fact that they've had to put in brackets, this means you, Justin, it sounds very personal, but it also sounds very petty. And if this is supposed to be a dedicated page and group and it's supposed to be formal and serious, by having petty digs at people in the background, such as in the bio, sounds childish, credibility out of the window already, not a good look. So when you think of the childish or immature petty behaviour from some of the key individuals in the case who may just happen to been the ones creating this page or a part of it as members, it kind of leaks through in terms of the about group section, right? Anything else? Says, this group is located in Stephens County, Oklahoma. And as for the members, I don't know if we can check that, but the admins and moderators, Tim is an admin. Who is Tim? Tim Howard. This is all public information in case you're wondering. So, I'm going to guess. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Is Tim Howard the husband of Stevie Howard? Sounds like it. So Tim Howard, possibly the husband of Stevie Howard being the homeowner of that party house, Tim being connected because of all being, together as a family, and Carter Combs, Avery Combs. So is Tim Howard the father to Carter Combs and Avery Combs then, I'm assuming? They're creating their own little page now, all together. See, this is the thing. They could have done that a long time ago when they were trying to get their stories straight. But they've only decided to do it now. Yeah, the timing is very off. It's easy to think that the Noah Presgrove case only happened a few months ago, a couple. But in actual fact, it happened over 9 months ago, 2023. And only in recent time, things have heated up. That says a lot, doesn't it? So I guess I came at the right time within this case, even though it has been ongoing for a bit. Can we look at the members, or will it not allow me? No, new people and pages that join this group will appear here. Why will it not let me see the members? Is it because it's private? Maybe. Group information, members, yeah. Pointless. So, with that being said, this is what it looks like. The fake Facebook page. Fake page. Noah Presgrove's Army with 102 members, and that's the description. That's the channel art. Let's just head on over to the real one, just so you know. As you see there, Justice for Noah Presgrove is the official one in the case and operated by the family. This one up top, Noah Presgrove's Army, Noah's Army, that's completely different. I think it's this one if we click on it. Unless, yeah. This one, same banner. Now, I don't know. It's just because when I was looking at Reddit just before, someone said, oh, they've copied the same banner as the original page. And then someone responded back saying, yeah, on the original page, one of the admins has changed it since. I mean, when going on here, it's the same exact channel art, same exact channel banner, page banner as the fake profile. But what's clearly different is when you go down to here. Well, yes, it's private as well. It says 4,600 members. This is the original. This is the real one. More members because it's been around much longer. Now, granted, If the other page, the fake one, kicks off and more people join up to 4,600, it could be hard to differentiate, especially when both pages are private. I would say, wouldn't it make more sense to make a statement to show that consistency, to show that openness and honesty by making the page public again? Because this fake page out there, which is private at the moment, then it'd be easier to tell who's who. One's private, the other one's not. And if the fake page copies the real page by making it public, well, they would have opened themselves up for scrutiny and suspicion anyway, because whatever little plans they're conducting in the background, like a covent, if they made it public just to match and mirror this page, then everyone would be able to see that page and see what's being talked about, and maybe it could expose them. So you could actually trap people. You could create a trap. You could play psychological warfare. It depends if people are on the wavelength I'm at, I wonder. Look, about this group, obviously it's the description's different as well. Just click on that. This is a private group. Oh. So they've actually updated the about section. Before they said it was a public, now it's a private. Gatekeeping information, interesting. This is a private group on the death of Noah Presgrove. This group is created to discuss and share information. Even in rumours, there is some truth. The goal is to put as much heat and shed as much light on Noah's case as possible. Whilst that may be true, you're actually limiting that heat by restricting the flow of people that can have access to the page. I know good can come from making it private, but bad can follow too. The group is created for freedom of speech and give out any information. Well, freedom of speech is more limited now, being realistic. With that being said, there will be some who are offended from what may be expressed. We'll do our best to monitor and deal bullying, which is not acceptable. It's coming up on 8 months now, and there is still no peace for now. I thought it was about 9 months. Well, close enough. Yeah. Do I think it's the right direction for this page to go private? I don't know. If it was private from day one, okay, fair enough. The fact that the official page by the family is public, I don't know, it kind of makes this look bad from an outsider's perspective. Some people might get triggered by what I'm saying here, but I'm being realistic, okay? When it came to the Dylan Rounds case, you had the official Find Dylan Rounds Legacy Facebook page, which is still open till this day public. And over time, you had Lucin, you had Montello private local groups. You had the odd maybe Dylan Rounds sub page, which may have been private. What good does that do? By making a smaller section, an unofficial group, private, as a means of deflecting, pushing away resistance, or having your own little private discussions, it kind of gatekeeps information. It seems like you're hiding something. It creates suspicion and people start complaining, and then it can spread like that. Now, if you were around on the page when it was public, you'd have probably a better understanding of what the page is all about here. Yeah, but from an outsider's perspective, who may have not seen that side, they're probably going to be a bit wary and suspicious, okay? You got an official page with the family, and they're fine in having it public and open for everyone. Now, the flow of information is very slow and there's not much going on there. It's pretty dead, but it's public, it's open. But then you've got an unofficial page suddenly becoming private. I don't know, people would think, well, you would think it'd be the other way around. The official, important main page would be private to make sure key information is safe, secure, the family members as well, it's all under lock and key. And you'd think that the unofficial pages would be all public because that's where everyone all gathers and kind of out of the loop and trying to catch up. Not the case though, it's kind of changed about the role reversal. Very interesting. Moderators, this is all public. Shannon Scott, Dusty Butler, who I think might have commented on my video recently, and Justin Roy. Justin Roy being the one that was mentioned on that fake page saying, we don't want you because you're a wacko. That's who they were referring to, in case you were wondering. And what I do want to say, if any admins or moderators are present, it was actually more so just a member from the page that commented on my channel recently, but they commented in a really weird spot. It was in a a completely different conversation with another viewer on my channel to do with super chats. I don't know why it appeared there, but whatever. So someone said, how about you change your Facebook name to Warlike Wrath to match your YouTube channel name, so that when you do apply or request to join on the Facebook page, you will be more likely to be accepted. And whilst yes, that's a good idea, I guess, personally, I didn't want to do that in the past because of all the drama in the Dylan Rounds case, right? People's social media being stalked, details collected, corruption, just abysmal, disaster, catastrophic. I wasn't going to go down that same cycle as everybody else. So I just stayed away from it. And for most part of it, because of the Dylan Rounds Facebook page being publicly accessible, there is no need to have an account. But in regards to nowadays, I guess things have changed and Facebook is more restrictive. And I did experiment, okay? To respond back to that person with the pink profile picture, I did experiment. I did change the username from whatever name I've got to my YouTube username. And guess what happened? Facebook said, sorry, we can't allow that. You need to use a real day-to-day real name. Oh my God, what a load of bollocks! Are you kidding me? How pathetic. And you know why it's so pathetic? The fact you could type in your real name on Facebook and you're accepted just like that, even if you want it to be made private, but no, you're accepted like that, boom, okay? You could change that name to something else. You could use another real, normal name, which isn't your actual name, and Facebook will accept you. How's that any different from me using a random username from my channel? I mean, Warlike Graph, obviously it's not a real name, but it is a name. It is a username. Why can't Facebook allow that? No, because that's not real. That's not genuine. Oh, but by the way, if you want to call yourself Bob Bob or Odd Bob or John Bob or John Doe, whatever you want to call it, you want to be as generic as possible. You want to use a real name, but it's not even your actual real name. Yeah, we'll welcome you in. We can allow that. How stupid does Facebook need to be? Oh my God. Even Twitter as well. Pathetic, incompetence, low IQ, lacking common sense. It's pathetic, but that's the reality. Now, I'll take another look. I'll see if there's any other way around it. But if not, well, it is what it is. Okay, if Facebook want to be awkward twats, and I'm not talking about the page, I'm talking about Facebook in general. I've heard many people say that Facebook is a terrible place, a toxic place. I've not been on the receiving end of that, luckily. But in terms of the data, the sharing, the details, the name requirements, the limitations, the restrictions, I detest that. Okay? So, I just wanted to give you an update there in terms of why I can't change the name. Now, for anyone triggered by certain language used, don't worry, all under control. You're now blessed. It's fine, just like the super chats. Bless Tyler. Not many people will get that reference, but those that have been around my channel will for some time. Now, the other thing I just wanted to look back on, because I forgot to cover it previously in another video, it's just another post to do with Kaden Pressy, kind of in recent time. It would have been before one of his statements came out, and it's to do with the shorts, the colour of them, with Noah Presgrove, I believe probably at the scene of the highway. This is on the Reddit page, because it's been reposted from the private page. But let's just head on over right now, just so you can see it yourself what Kaden had to say about the colour of the shorts, and just see what the discussions are about it. So the title here reads, KP, also known as Kaden Pressy, doubles down on the black shorts being on Noah Presgrove the first time he saw him. Right, first time he saw him, alive or dead? This is in response to Stevie Howard's unhinged rant about how Noah Presgrove's black shorts were actually in the bathroom. Right, okay, well let's see what this is all about, because we've already seen it before where they've been at heads with one another, SH and KP. KP's been calling out SH. SH has attempted to gaslight KP and damage his credibility and verbally insult him. What's mentioned here? Whoa, this is zoomed in for a change. It's done it for me. So Kaden Pressy says, ma'am, Is this in direct response to Stevie Howard? It could be. Mayhem. Jack Newton gave Noah's brother the black shorts that I seen on his body. There were no black shorts in the bathroom. She is just simply trying to gaslight people and make an alibi for them. Right, so Kaden is responding back to another person out there, general public, who's confused about the situation. Okay, Jack Newton's name coming up once again. Gave Noah's brother the black shorts. But why? Why is all the clothing being passed around, and at what time? Was Jack giving the shorts to Noah's brother as like a memento? Just like how supposedly Caleb was gifting out bits of shirt to people? It just seems a bit random. But yeah, the main part though is that Kaden says the black shorts that I saw on his body. Right. And that the black shorts weren't in the bathroom. As what Stevie has said. Right, okay. So, if Stevie has to lie about a bit of clothing, it must be a big deal, right? Because if there was nothing to hide, there'd be no need to change the narrative then if it's just some shorts. So the shorts are significant in the death of Noah Presgrove for the truth not to be clear by some of these people. Jack Newton was the one who was talking about different coloured shorts, if I'm correct in saying, white or beige at the scene of where Noah was found. Weird. But as for Kaden, who people trust and look up to, Kaden saying that Noah's body, black shorts were there. But wait, hold on. They're saying that, let me just word this, on his body. On his body? Is Kaden wording it as on his body when his body was alive? Or his body, i.e. a dead body? It's a little bit dodgy, the language this. I mean, you can say, ooh, that person's body, you can see all the muscles. And that's normally when you're talking to someone who's alive. But then again, a person that's dead in a gym or took too much steroids, and you could say, oh, dead body. But on that dead body, the body has muscles. So you can use body when describing someone who's dead or alive. I'm just not sure as to how it's worded here, because at least from the story within the case, how it's been mentioned officially in the news articles by people in the community all round, that Noah Presgrove's shorts were not on him at the time of his death. They were found nearby to him and they weren't damaged. But Kaden here is saying that I saw the black shorts on his body. Are you saying that you saw the black shorts on Noah's body at the time of the party when he was alive? Or that when you made it down to the highway, you saw that Noah was wearing black shorts, even though he was dead on the ground? I'm not quite sure how it's mentioned here for context. If anyone can clear it up, that would be appreciated. I wonder what the comments are like, though. Kaden was raised right, so fearless. I believe he's doing good for Noah, not like others who are making it about themselves. He was. Mrs. Alicia does not play about her baby. Alicia, L-E-L. Oh, Alicia, so E-L being the mother. Kaden, yeah. Ratch, he just said Stevie Howard is gaslighting him, but the biggest thing to me is that he said that Stevie Howard is creating an alibi for them. This may seem like words to some, but that's a significant accusation that really gives away how Kaden feels about these other party goers. We'll just click on this for more. If it will load. He sticks to his word. Yes. When Stevie Howard goes on what you perfectly describe as an unhinged rant, she's not providing groundbreaking information. Screenshots of endless, nonsensical text from a biased source aren't factual. It's just her doubling down on her attempt to control the narrative. She's trying to prove her importance in the local community whilst trying to increase her credibility online. The only true takeaway from Stevie Howard is that her family is deeply embedded in law enforcement, politics, business, etc. Anything she says is purely one-sided. We need to look at why she says what she says, not what she says. My guess as to why is that they didn't want a dead body found on her family's land and to have to deal with all the pesky questions and warrants that would entail. Is that why there was that talk of, from that transcript, where it was being suggested of killing Noah and Avery in the background with Isaac was saying, no, if you're going to do it, if you're going to shoot Noah, do it over there, do it away from the land. That's what the transcript was. So the idea of not wanting to be a part of it, not wanting your land, your area, your credibility being dragged through the mud and questioning. So if you're going to do anything suspicious, do it away from the land, maybe. Anyway, the prince says, be kind. My guess as to why is that they didn't want a dead body found on her family's land. And so, yeah, I saw that. So, what's this one? I can promise you that being an admin of a hate cyberbullying group can come with implications if you are sued civilly. The court will not afford you an attorney. Our pockets are deep. Just keep that in mind during your failed attempts at censorship. Who's saying that then? I don't know who's saying that. I don't know. Or have to give up some of those deep pockets. Stevie doesn't have money but has... Oh, hold on. Stevie doesn't have money but her stepdad does, and he's bailed her out before. Is that so? In what situation? Stevie Howard's sudden reappearance on the board is suspect. She waived the BIA card, then went silent for days. Why reappear now? What has changed? I'm suspicious of everything she says or does. I'm not on Facebook, so could you explain? Bureau of Indian Affairs. I'm not Indian in terms of India. That one, not that. In some cases, under certain circumstances, the BIA has jurisdiction over crimes committed on tribal land, Native American heritage. There you go. Stevie Howard claims to be, 1/4 Native. It's all very complicated. Matt Gert versus Oklahoma is a good place to start, but even after reading as a layman, I still didn't fully understand. Basically, she was implying that she had special protection under the law. I don't think that is true in this case, but it did cause everyone pause, wondering if this would allow someone to slip through the cracks. At the end of the day, I think Kaden Pressy is telling the truth, whilst his version includes strange behaviour. The way he has told it consistently and resolutely makes him quite credible. Also, I don't see what KP has to gain by deviating from other stories. Don't forget he had a knee brace on and was dozing on the couch, making his physical involvement in any of this unlikely restricted movement. But he was under the influence of alcohol. We need to acknowledge that for another video. I agree. I just wanted to add that the fact that KP had on a knee brace and possibly still in discomfort from surgery, he at least would have been somewhat sober compared to the rest. But he was still drinking. I can't imagine taking a risk at getting drunk wearing a brace, risking further injury. So the fact that he was probably quite sober would make his account of people's actions timelines more reliable and harder to dismiss as drunken, mistaken recollections. I believe him. But even if he was sober enough, Kaden said himself, he rejected and turned down Noah Presgrove's request to drive him home because Kaden didn't want to get in trouble with the police after drinking alcohol. So there was enough concern anyway and lack of confidence within Kaden's mind to be truly sober. He didn't want to risk it, so let's acknowledge that. You can't think both KP and SH are telling the truth because each party is trying to discredit one another. Yeah, Stevie Howard is throwing out different stories than Kaden Pressy, so you almost have to pick a side. Yeah. In a darker situation, both could be lying. You know? Is there anyone out there that thinks that? I'm not saying it, but some people could. Yes, and we don't see him in videos of the party games, etc. I would imagine he was being really careful with that knee. But it's not a fun surgery. Okay. I'm trying to find it, but didn't Dalen say the black shorts he received back had been washed? What's his response? Number 1. Black shorts were given to his brother, Noah Presgrove's brother, unaware that they could contain evidence. They were washed and put up for safekeeping. 2. Cell phone pings were told to us by an investigator. There was no elaboration as to who they belonged to. This was before the trucker found Noah. 2, is it? Cell phone pings, more than one, near to Noah's body, one of which was Jack Newton, supposedly. So it's all about that again. But as for the person commenting here, it must be a family member from the main page. Thanks, okay, yeah. just read this last night, but I can only find reference to it on the Facebook group, the Justice one, the main official page run by the family. Someone said his aunt confirmed they were washed before them being given back to Kaden Pressy, I think, is the name of the brother. They were washed. Oh no, forget me. They were washed by Kaden at the time. He wasn't fully aware of the circumstances around Noah's death. Oh, okay. Is Kaden the brother, right? Yeah, it sounds like she's saying that. And I don't blame Kaden at all. If he did wash him, I wouldn't want to keep my dead brother's apparently second to last worn shorts if they were all dirty and gross. Because I've got a little brother. Right, yeah, whatever. I won't swear to it, but I believe it was mentioned in one of the 3 podcasts. I wonder if someone is trying to frame Kaden. I will say his name. He is above reproach and true friend, a remarkable young man. His shoe was found at the scene and he denies party mamma's account. I feel like she might be trying to point fingers at the one honest kid that won't be silenced. Quite possible, and what helps in his defence is knee injury. He's less likely to have physically attacked anyone or dragged bodies around. Yeah, fair point. Now, me personally, I didn't know about him having a knee brace on because I didn't see him in any of the party footage where it showed. So, obviously not as mobile. That's a major factor to take in mind. Could be considered more vulnerable as well, Kaden, because if anything bad happened to him on that night, he wouldn't have been able to do as much because of his injury and surgery. Does anyone know the backstory behind that surgery? Was it through playing sport or something? American football? This person appropriate. I honestly don't believe he showered. They photographed everything else. Why not the shower? These are teens. It doesn't make sense to give girls the job of cleaning a dusty, dirty Noah. If he was muddy and filthy from the ATV accident, he should not walk in the house but clean up outside. Yeah, maybe with a hose pipe. In my whole life, I never joined in giving a young man a bath. Okay. This is nonsense. Crazy hormones in overdrive. Women might have enjoyed seeing this beautiful young man in the shower. Oh God, I wonder where this was going then. But he was not incapacitated. If there was a shower, it would be taken to clean up. Okay, Oklahoma night possibly infuriated the father of the party girls or jealous mouths. See, it's what you setting the scene that Noah's in the shower and then all girls surround him like some kind of Roman period days or something. Many in the group wouldn't bother you to see your girlfriend or girl you had a crush on bathing him. It would be a bit weird. The bloody Noah was not bathed after death in the house. He would drag a bloody body in the house with head bashed in, had his teeth broken after death, remnants were in his mouth. Even hockey players spit out their teeth when knocked out or broken. They kept beating him. Why? Great points. If you look at the video where they are writing on Noah's bottom, his shorts are down, but he is covering his junk with his hands. Okay, very specific, the details. Given that, not sure he would want several girls bathing him, so he didn't happen unless he was incapacitated. If that is true, then why not use the hose? It was 80 degrees overnight. I mean, if people are saying that Noah gets what he wants or gets any girl or has in the past, then would he be complaining if many girls rushed to him saying, oh, I'll touch you, I'll touch you? Would he really complain? But then again, if the roles were reversed, you can imagine how a female would react. Sexual assault, Me Too movement, rape, and all of that. I'm not talking about the true, real scenario stories of people, victims. I'm talking about the fake ones and the ones that exaggerate. Anyway, a scenario, and of course the double standards as well. A scenario where this makes sense is that he had UTV accident, got scraped up with dirt in the wounds which need to be cleaned, got filthy with a girl helping him in the shower. Got flirty, oops, misread that. Got flirty with girl or girls helping him in the shower, and a jealous person loses his mind like Jack Newton maybe. And that's why his head gets bashed in. Dirt in his mouth, so unable to spit out dirt too. Well, personal theory surrounds the UTV accident too. I won't publicly speculate on certain details, but I will say this. Multiple experts have come forward to say the only way Noah could have sustained those injuries was if he was run over by a vehicle. Well, I've not seen that by experts. I saw that experts said it would have to have been a beating, with multiple people responsible. One expert narrowed it down to him specifically being run over by a small truck. Never saw that either. Don't know where you got that from. What page, what news article did you look at regarding the experts? Because from Daily Mail it didn't mention that. I'm originally from a country town. One of my parents' rules was that we were never allowed to have recreational vehicles or use them at other people's houses. Grandfather's brother was killed in an accident. We're in a country surrounded by tons of land to ride upon. A lot of people have them and a lot of injuries happen. Farming accidents as well. It's dark, truck has no lights, more people can go. There are no street lights, the ground is uneven and unpredictable. Yeah, things can go wrong, and if you're drunk as well. One of the partygoers posted an account about 3 guys drunkenly being on the UTV. A small truck was sold shortly after the party. Doesn't the owner of the truck... Okay, mean the owner of the truck was driving? This should broaden the perspective. Does anyone know the model? UTV. You're brilliant. I don't remember dirt in his mouth. Of course, he'd spit that out if capable. I think more mature, deaf-hardened criminals did this. Let's assume Noah dared a bunch of kids to beat him. Let's assume 10 did, just whacking him here and there. They realise he's getting very bloody and possibly dead. Honestly, believe a bunch of kids would run in horror, no planning to move him, nothing. This involves personally luring him outside, beating him to death and dumping the body, counting on locals to say something big hit him. No broken big bones like legs or arms, yeah. Only head, neck and spine, beatings hard enough to bleed to death internally, the brain, skull. Kids slapping and punching didn't do this. I suspect they know. They also know it could happen to them. If my son was there, which were over 1,000 miles and 1,000,000 miles removed from this dirty little town, I'd let him to be quiet and no going out alone. Okay. At least no one feel bad helping, so I think, okay, what if he gets bashed in the head? Everyone looks horrified. Adults offered to take him to the hospital, put him in a truck, wave goodbye instead. They decided to cut their losses and finish him off. Well, these are theories, I guess. Regarding the shower, I mentioned this somewhere else, but if he was muddy dirty, why wouldn't they just do a quick hose down outside? Yeah. Okay, you'd think there'd be water somewhere up here. Just mine, jump in the lake bath. My kids grew up calling a shower just seems to be out of place considering they look like they really don't care if they're dirty. Okay. Many people have confirmed the shower video before it was removed and him lying in the bathtub being washed. Confirmed the shower video was removed. Does anyone have the shower video? It sounds dodgy asking that, but if it's evidence, I've not seen it. Do I want to see it? I mean, if it's inappropriate, no, I don't want to see it. I was wondering about that. I never saw but heard it existed and was thinking about how important his state of consciousness whilst being in the shower is. If he was unconscious or barely conscious, that would be a completely different story than if he was awake and joking around like some of the partygoers claim. This whole thing weirds me out so much. And everyone is held accountable. Personally, I would say if somehow, somewhere, someplace, and if police took it upon themselves to do so, provided it's not too late, get as much party footage as possible and work from there. There are gaps, aren't they? The actual party footage of the ATV tipping over, we need that footage to look at. What state was Noah in? Any injuries or not? Was he okay or not? How did people react when seeing it, etc. Then we need the party footage of if there was footage from the shower or the bath to see what condition was he in. Because if people are thinking about maybe he was washed down, maybe he was already dead by the time he got to the shower or bath, well then, if we saw the footage, then we'd know whether that's the case or not. If he's alive, if he's awake, well, he was okay up to that point of that timestamp. But this type of footage doesn't seem to be available, maybe because it was deleted at the party or just after. It's like what's been going around in the community. But can you get a hold of deleted footage from people's phones? Maybe. What about iCloud as well? Typical Americans tend to have iPhones as well, glued to them. So, it could be that the shorts and shirt he was actually wearing at the time disappeared because there was some sort of tire mark on them. Why get rid of the UTV immediately after it wasn't somehow involved? And they did say about that UTV there was no damage to it, so you wouldn't need to get rid of it unless you were getting rid of it because it was involved in some suspicious activity. I didn't see any autopsy about any dirt in his mouth. No, I didn't either. What else? Last night, at the request of many members of Noah's Army administration, got info on how we could donate so that KP and his family could at least go speak to an attorney, since it's clear that Stevie Howard is trying to twist his words. I don't know if I can post the info, but hey, if you go to Noah's Army page on Facebook, you'll find info on how you can help this kid to get some legal advice protection. Again, this was done at the request of the members of the family, did not ask anything from us, but we want KP to be protected. Once again, I can speak fast, in case you're wondering. Absolutely, please do post the information here. We are here to get the justice. Okay, there we go. There's some of the links. You probably can view the page yourself. And it's on Presgrove's Army as well. Scott Pressy. Who's Scott Pressy? Will be related to Kaden Pressy, right? She also is posting about someone named Bub Wilcoxon. Her stepdaddy? Why does it say daddy? Ugh. You know, Joni Wilcoxon Jr. is the real name. Bub is the nickname. Well, there we go. Oh wow, so he's the one with the cameras on the road. Cameras on the road? I don't think there was any cameras on the road in the area. Anyway, that's just a little bit of extra info there in case you didn't catch up on it. Granted, it was a bit of a 2-in-1 video today. Normally I'd probably split the two apart, but I think on this occasion it should be okay. I guess with the title of the video, I'll just rearrange it so it's obviously clear as to what's been talked about in general. Hopefully you found this video of interest. Be sure to like, share, and if you want, feel free to subscribe if you want to keep up with future updates on the case from my channel's perspective. If you are interested in catching up on my recent videos, my playlist on the case, if you click on the I symbol top right corner of the screen, you'll be able to find it there and you'll be able to catch up. And down below, at any point throughout this video, your reactions, your thoughts, your opinions, whether you agree or disagree with points made or by me, you got any questions, let me know everything in your mind down below under this video. It helps spread awareness in general with the video and the case itself, and it might even help other people out there where certain questions could be answered which they were wondering themselves. Down below as well, pinned comment by me, you'll find the odd video link to the last video that I did. Be sure to check that out. And as well, pinned comment, there'll be some additional links if you want to support this channel. As a heads up to anyone who's not aware, when support is given to the channel from now, well, recently till September, I'm going to put that towards upgrading the channel here. So it should help everything and be able to give back to people watching as well. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your patience, definitely, when looking at the stats, when looking at the watch duration. Very good, good people. So I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Goodbye for now.